Welcome to the Nosebleed Seats. I'm the Mad Conservative Crowfire. For our first time ever, we're up in LaSalle, Peru at Dreamwave Wrestling. And this is the promoter of Dreamwave Wrestling, Jay Repsel.
Hi everybody.
One of the 10 most influential people in Central Illinois wrestling. How are you doing today?
Good. What number was that exactly?
We don't have them ranked. We just do them in the order that I'm able to
so I could
get
be 10,
them on the air.
First.
You could be first, you could be 10th. We don't know. We just didn't rank them.
Okay, next question. You're the one asking the questions here.
Yes. Take us back to how it all began for Dreamwave.
For Dreamwave in specific.
Before there was Dreamwave, there was RCW.
Okay.
And when Revolution went away, Dreamwave forms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple years ago, would have been the winter of 2009. Josh Costello, JC Castilli, and me were talking on the phone. We always talked about doing one more RCW show because we didn't go out our way. You know, kind of went south towards the end there, and we never got to end things our way. So we always felt like we owed it to the boys and owed it to the town to do it one more time. And you know, we looked at like the business model of RCW, and it was so vulgar, and you know, we didn't censor what the performer said in the ring, and WWE was kind of going PG and kid friendly. So you know, we thought about what if we brought it back but did it a different way, like, you know, almost patterned ourselves after WWE's business model. I mean, people can say what you want, you're a mark or you're this or you're that, but they're the most successful company in the world, and there's a reason for that. So, you know, we certainly we went that route, and Dreamwave was born. We started contacting the guys and brought some of the guys back from, you know, the original RCW days, and just, you know, did it.
You're heavily involved in RCW. Were you one of the original founders of RCW?
I started the company.
You did start the company. So when you restarted under the name Dreamwave, you decided to start fresh, new name.
Fresh. We didn't want that, like I spoke about the vulgarity and like kind of the, you know, the R-rated extreme, what do they call it? The Attitude Era kind of stuff, you know. And we thought that drove a lot of people away. People coming to those shows were, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and they're gone. They've got families now. They moved to college. That was 10 years ago. So, in fact, April will be my 10 years promoting. So, anniversary this year. But anyways, like I said, we wanted to do it and like just appeal to a wider audience for advertisers, you know, so we could sell sponsorships, just for a variety of reasons. It worked out better for everybody that way. So, that was it.
They had a team assisting in the formation of Dreamwave. Tell us who these folks are.
Well, kind of a funny story. Like I said, JC, he's one of my good friends personally. You know, and we always talk, and we'd always fantasize on the phone about having another show, and like I said, a reunion show, and then so he's one of my best friends. We always kind of talk, and he's got a really good head on his shoulders about business. And actually, I was having lunch with one of my friends, or actually dinner with one of my friends one night, and we're big fans of each other. We have mutual respect. His name is Matt, and so we've never been in business together. I'm starting this wrestling thing. He said, how much? And I said, here's what I put in. He matched it, and he's my silent partner. I mean, and he's one of the best partners I can imagine, business partners that I can imagine. Just to get that clear. You know, just because he keeps his hands off, he lets me do my thing, and he does his thing. So really, it was me, JC, and you know, we had a lot of help on the back end, like you know, Adam Bonds and Mark Razza. They like helped us build a lot of the sets. I mean, we try and go big time. You know, we try and have you know, the bigger deal your show is, seems like, you know, the more fans get into it and whatnot. So it was a lot of you know, a lot went into it, but we got it done. So I think we did a hell of a job too.
Now describe your first year as Dreamwave, successes and difficulties.
There's a little. If you go back and watch, like the first DVD, it's always hard to watch your own stuff. You go back and watch that first show, and it's like, what the heck was I thinking? Like, some of the talent we booked didn't click. Some of it did. Actually, it's a little known fact here, but Derek St. Holmes was actually our choice to be, our guy. Mm-hmm. And fans didn't want that. They decided that Austin Roberts was their guy, and there may have been a riot had Austin Roberts not been our top guy. So the fans kind of dictated what we did a lot, which is great. I mean, it's like the Stone Colds of the world. Right now we're seeing it again with Nick Brubaker, where the fans turned him babyface. They decided that's their guy. They went with him. When he was with the A-list with Ryland Fox, and everybody hated his guts. But like I said, they dictate what happens. As far as difficulties go, though, finding our niche. I mean, going to the family-friendly thing was hard at first. I mean, I remember the first show, there was literally a sign on the gorilla position right before the guys walk out of the curtain. It said, "No swearing, no profanity, no sexual innuendos." That's something we had to really adjust the guys to. Because guys get vulgar on the mic and stuff. So that was our probably biggest challenge. But really, it's been really smooth sailing. Knock on wood. I mean, for us, the whole journey. So.
And last night I witnessed a few people doing an outburst, and it was pretty crazy last night at PWE. Mm-hmm. Kid ran up and punched him in the kidneys during the match.
During a match?
Yes.
Like a fan?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. He's lucky he didn't get beat up.
Well, he'd get arrested for child abuse, I think.
Child abuse? Next one.
Off topic, but after your first year, describe how it went year 2 and year 3.
I don't even remember year 2. Year 2 was good. We go February, the show we're getting ready to have right now, season premiere. This is the beginning of our fiscal year. We kind of, everything builds towards anniversary in April. So we do have the disadvantage of, our biggest show was only 2 months after we start, or 3 months, after we start back up after the break. In the second year, I thought anniversary, there was a couple good matches on it, but a couple things happened, some personnel things, and I was disappointed in it, all in all. And that was a personal challenge. There's a few shows last year that I didn't really care for. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was talking with Ryland Fox one day, and we were talking about, a show should be almost like an artistic expo. Mm-hmm. If you go to a film festival and every movie is horror, it loses its shock appeal for a while. You get tired of seeing people get killed. If you go see Bruce Willis kill 100 people, it gets old by the 99th person. So we try and do a little bit of everything, and some of our work I thought was really good last year, but there's a couple shows that weren't the best, and I think season 3, the last, let's say, August through December was our best stretch we ever had. I mean, some of the best wrestling. The storylines really, really clicked, and I was just, tickled pink. So, and again, it's all trial and error. If we keep drawing the fans that we draw, you're not going to win all the time. Yeah. I mean, nobody's perfect with this. I mean, we got some good performers like Ryland Fox aboard now, and I don't know. Like I said, it's the sum of its parts.
Describe what all goes into the production, putting together a Dreamwave show, production values you put in, because you put in more than pretty much any other promotion in Central Illinois.
Like I said, it's all going back to making it seem like a big time event. When you walk into the building, you shouldn't feel like you're in the Knights of Columbus. It's Dreamwave Day, baby. Mm-hmm. You walk in there's banners, there's the rim, there's the screen. It's you feel like you're at an event. As far as the production goes, it's a lot of work, and as much as I was joking earlier, about having a personal assistant or whatever, it'd be nice, because I personally don't set up the ring or flyer. We have an awesome team of people in place for that. I do some of the video work. I'm not good at it at all, but I like to tinker with it. Ryan Fox is really good at it, but not me. But no, it's a lot of work in the back end. I mean, it's a typical week of a show is insane for me. I mean, I have zero personal time. Aside from when I'm not working at my regular job, I'm doing Dreamwave stuff. editing videos, doing format sheets, and what you see is only half of what, we present things professionally. Behind the scenes, we strive to make it good for the guys. When the guys get here, I want them to know exactly what they're doing, why they're doing it, what they're doing next month. So we want to be professional. I don't want to be like, you are wrestling here. Well, why? It's got to make sense. There has to be a story behind it. A typical show day. Let me kind of tell you. You didn't even ask me, but I'm gonna tell you what happens on a typical show day. 3 o'clock we have a meeting. Take notes. Anybody want to be a good promoter? I'm just kidding. Typical show day, 3 o'clock we have a meeting. 3:30 we have a tryout match for guys that want to get into Dreamwave. 5 o'clock we have a production meeting. 6 o'clock is doors open, for the season ticket holders. 6:30 pre-show match. 7 o'clock show, like the gospel, every month. So it's everybody knows what to expect when they get here. There's always surprises, of course, but we try and make it as professional environment as possible, because everybody's problem is they want to go have a show and they want to hang up a flyer and have a show. And you can't promote a show that way. And you can't say you're wrestling you for no reason. You just can't do it. That's why indie wrestling in Illinois, 99% of it's terrible. I'm just saying. And I'm not
all 40 feds.
I'm not tooting my own horn, but toot. And we do this. We work really hard. And I'm not burying anybody specifically. I won't mention any names, but you can pick the 3 or 4 good promotions in Illinois, and everybody can name about 50 bad ones. It's like diarrhea. It's terrible. It's the drizzling. We go next question. Getting angry here.
You did iPPV for a bit. I don't know if you're still doing it now, but not doing it. What did you learn from doing iPPVs?
Should have went with a company that didn't suck. It was a company that started up for the first time, and we learned with them. They worked really hard. I shouldn't say they sucked, but it was like they were getting into it. They haven't done anything since then. So maybe we should have went with a Go Flat Live or somebody. Had we done it, we did it. It was a flop. It was probably our biggest business flop. We're fortunate enough that we're a strong enough company that we can incur some bad decisions. Luckily for us, we make more good decisions than bad ones. So, we decided to try it. Our product, I think it's universal. You look at a Ring of Honor or a Dragon Gate, and those are great niche products. Hardcore wrestling fans enjoy those companies. If we put that product in front of our audience, which we've done before, it's like foreign to them. These people here like the WWE style, the entertainment. I always call this like, if Chikara and 1980s WWF mated, Dreamwave would be the baby. Like that's who we are. We're fun. It's just a good guy, a bad guy, and it's not rocket science what we do here. And I'm not a genius. I've never said I am. Let's just just make sure things make sense.
How much of a challenge was it to put on an iPPV versus just a regular show that you do every month?
Actually, it kind of was nice because it kicked us in the butt to improve our lighting a little bit, and aside from that, it was really just have a show. And we had some issues with the first iPPV we did because Kevin Nash had just signed his WWE contract and actually appeared in the Royal Rumble the Sunday prior to our pay-per-view. So he texts me and says, I can't be on pay-per-view. I can do the show, but you have to go dark when I come on. So we had to come back, and he powerbound Ryland Fox or something. So we had to come back and he'd go dark. But aside from that, just some little hiccups in the road. It was really easy.
And he was on a DVD release, right?
He was in the DVD release. Actually, somebody suggested that we just leave it on and cure. They say you don't make it in the business, so you get a cease and desist from Vince. And I've never gotten one, so I should have just tried it. But he's got more money than I do, so we didn't want to try that.
Early days of Dreamwave, you had live commentary over the PA system. A lot of people think that's one of the bad traits of a wrestling show. Eventually, or when you did the iPPV, you cut out live commentary. What are your thoughts on that?
This is a hot topic in our locker room. Just about every 3 months, someone brings it up. The iPPV, the only reason we didn't do it was because it would interfere with the cameras and the broadcast and whatnot. You're coming to a wrestling show. LaSalle Wrestling, it's a brand. Dreamwave is a brand. My shows, every single one of them, with the exception of maybe 4 or 5, have had live commentary. And I love it. Over the air. it's always a slippery slope, because it's like, if a manager's in the ring and the referee's back is turned, and the manager interferes and the commentator's like, he's interfering, and the referee doesn't see it, it makes everyone look stupid, right? But
yeah.
You have to be smart about this stuff, and it describes it to, it describes it to our fans, like some of our younger fans, help with the storylines. We get casual fans who may be here tonight to see Chavo Guerrero. They may not know what the storyline with Austin Roberts and Nick Brubaker is. So the commentators help drive that point home. I think if it's done properly, it's an effective tool, but it can certainly be really bad.
A lot of pitfalls.
Yes.
How did you put together the Dreamwave roster? It's kind of a north meets south, and I know more than anybody how Chicago resisted anything south of Interstate 80. How did you put together the roster with a good mixture of the Northern Illinois talent with the Central Illinois talent, and maybe even further south to St. Louis?
Honestly, when a guy catches our eyes, we just call him. I mean, it's simple. I've always said the nice thing about LaSalle is we can kind of cherry pick the best from everywhere. Chicago, if you work for this company, you can't work for this company. Like, nobody cares because we're far enough out here. We're on our own little island. If they do, it's really at the guy's discretion. I mean, everybody has a home company that's like their company or whatever. 9 times out of 10, we end up being the home company. I'm not trying to sound conceited, it's just the fact of the matter. For example, Christian Roach, we plucked him from down south. We brought him up here. I saw a promo with him, I was like, this guy can talk. So we looked at his work, and he could work. So we brought him up here. Everybody went nuts over him. I see a person in Chicago would do the same thing. I've gotten heat from maybe one promoter for, plucking his guys or whatever, and it's happened to me once.
I think I know who it is.
I don't really give a crap who I make mad. This is my business. I do it my way. I always have, and I always will. Anybody in Chicago or anybody down south that doesn't like it, tough. We're easy to find. We're here the first Saturday of every month. So,
how long did it take to get Chicago to accept Dreamwave as a top promotion?
I don't know that they do. I think that we always get overlooked, which is fine with me. Like I said, we do things our own way out here, LaSalle style, I don't need to be labeled like the best company. I know that my guys go out there every month and they bust their butts. And I know that, like I said before, we had some bad shows. It's like everything, some of its parts didn't click. It doesn't mean the guys didn't work hard. It just means that the timing was off. The stories may have been off. Like, it's not one person's fault, but I mean, if everybody goes out there and works their butt off like they do every month, then we're going to have good shows. Chicago, they accept to say, I'm really good friends with a lot of promoters in Chicago. Some of the good promotions, like AAW, I will name names. AAW, Danny Daniels runs a really tight ship up there. I mean, you know who they are. A lot of the CSW guys work here, so we have a pretty good relationship with them. Pow, Jimmy Blaze has been doing it for a while. But there's always a couple guys that are going to be sour grapes because they don't work here. The promoters have booked themselves on top. I mean, it's one thing I would say about myself. I have never put myself over on a show once. I dress up in a hot dog suit, for God's sakes. I don't need to be the star. Some of these promoters have booked themselves into the champion. It's a joke. It's bad for business. It's like these guys that hang flyers and want to run a show. It's garbage, and it's polluting the scene. It's poisoning the scene, and you should just go away. The best thing that would ever happen for the wrestling in Illinois would be for the State Athletic Commission to come back and start regulating again. So these idiots can't go on high spots and buy a damn ring and start running shows because it makes all of us look bad.
So now you've just touched on a hot topic,
right.
And I'm going to discuss it. I didn't have this written down, but I'm going to
question.
Ask it.
We're rolling. Come on. Woo!
I better than anyone know Illinois is not regulated, but I know how Missouri's regulated.
Okay.
It's a night and day difference. We've been trying to figure out what is the happy medium between Missouri, which is the most regulated state in the nation. They had controversies like every woman wrestler had to get a pregnancy test before they could wrestle a match.
Come on.
Seriously.
Wow. Guess it makes sense.
State Athletic Commission, basically, they're unwilling to bend. If there's like any imperfection in paperwork, they won't let you wrestle. Obviously, they make you get a blood test every year and a whole host of things. things. And every time, let's say one of the Missouri promotions brings in a name, they usually aren't allowed to wrestle because of licensing issues. So, what should be regulated? How far, if the state athletic commission re-regulates pro wrestling, how far should it go?
Well, I think it's crap. I mean, the old rule was, I think it was 10 or 20% of your gate they took. I mean, they would come in. I think it's fine. You know, they come in and check people's blood pressure. They come in and make sure everyone's healthy, make sure everyone's licensed. You can never be too prepared for anything. I mean, look at what, like I said, what we've got now, this mess we've gotten into with all these crappy promotions and these kids run wrestling shows in their backyard. And I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. We used to have one here in LaSalle. You know, this company would run and when actually the commission regulated them, and the promoter would, like, he knew the fans, so he would like watch them come through the door to make sure they weren't a state athletic like inspector or whatever. I mean, you know, I think they were a little strict at times, but really, as a wrestler, do you want somebody bleeding all over you that maybe has a disease? I mean, seriously. I mean, in any profession. I mean, every profession is regulated. When you get a haircut, the person has a little license on the mirror. I mean, do I really want a wrestler working for me that wouldn't be able to get licensing if there was a such thing in the state? Absolutely not. I mean, you know, it would solve a lot of problems for us because this is something I always use for an example. Say there's a wrestler, say some crappy company comes to town and they have a little tiny ring and they draw 30 people here in LaSalle. And the Miller family comes out to see him. Well, the Miller family goes to a wrestling show. They go home and tell the Johnson family that, you know, yeah, I went to that live wrestling show and it was crap. It really sucked. People don't know the difference between, they may not say Dreamwave, they may just think that the wrestling show sucked. So that affects me. You know, if you're crap, you don't run the show. I mean, and I wish the athletic commission would come back. I mean, that would be the best thing that would happen to me and Danny Daniels and Jimmy Blaze and, you know, Justin and, you know, all those guys. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, like I said, every idiot with a credit card can be shown. So.
Well, the point was raised that you said any idiot with a credit card, well, even if the commission comes back, if they can afford to buy a ring, they can afford to buy a promoter's license. What would the commission do to stop them from running if they can afford the ring and the commissioner's license?
Actually, I believe, and I'm not sure on this because I've never been regulated. The year I started promoting shows, wrestling was deregulated by the athletic commission. I'm pretty sure that they check your credentials, and I don't quote me on that. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I want to say that, you know, they check your training and, you know, see if you've ever promoted shows in the past or whatnot. So, I'm not sure on that. It's a good point. They should make you
the wrestling
commissioner.
I don't know about that.
You go inspect all the shows.
McIntyre actually says if the commission ever came back, he wanted to be the official.
They need to tape that for like a DVD release because like when he goes to the shows, like a reality show, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Another factor of the re-regulation, it seems the regulations hurt a wrestler more than, let's say, perhaps the promoter because they're going to be. Well, they may not get very big paydays at the shows. They're certainly going to be paying out the wazoo to get the license, get all the medical checkups they're supposed to get before they can step in the ring.
I think that's all on the promoter, isn't it? I mean, I want to say like the license was like $35 or $50 or something, and that was the wrestler's responsibility to get that. The second, if you're a manager or whatever, you had to have a second license. Referee had to be licensed, but I don't see no pain in that. I mean, I think that would be awesome. And if a guy, here's this, if a guy can't afford $30, you can afford $30 to go drive to the show. If you can't afford a $30 license, you don't need to be wrestling. Go get a job. Go work at McDonald's.
I think they
follow your dream.
Asking for more money than that, but
you'd be surprised. Yeah. Glad you don't write my checks.
Say again?
I'm glad you don't write my checks.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the overview of the roster. You're one of the few promotions in the state that basically has the wrestlers, or you offer contracts to the wrestlers. Tell us about that and whether is it really needed or is it just a perk of being the top promotion in the state?
Well, it's company policy not to disclose those kind of like specific details.
Go in generalities, then you can get around all that.
All right.
Very generalities.
I promote. I'm just gonna grab a name here. I promote Nick Brubaker, which is like 4 or 5 times. I spend my company spends thousands of dollars a year promoting Nick Brubaker on billboards, television, radio, whatever else, flyers, posters. How is it fair that another company could come in my area and use that wrestler, and he's drawing them money based off the money I've spent? That's not fair to me, and it dilutes the product. I want people within a certain radius to come to LaSalle. Like, if you want to see those people, either go to Chicago or Springfield or whatever, or you come here. This is their promotion. This is where they work. You want to see Ryland Fox, you come to LaSalle. Period.
All right. Drawing fans. You draw anywhere from 250 to 500 a show. What works for you to get them in the door that others do not try? I mean, there's a lot of feds that have that are struggling to draw 3 digits.
Sure. Like I said, going back to it being simple. I mean, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy. The storylines make sense. You can't give them everything at one show. I'm talking in terms of the actual show itself right now.
Right.
You have to leave them something. Almost every show ends in a cliffhanger. I want those people to come back next month to see it. Like, if you give them everything right now, what's the point? Why would they, what reason do they have to come back? Essentially, you just have an athletic exhibition between 2 individuals. It's like, how exciting is that? And like some of the bigger companies that I mentioned earlier do that. It's like, okay, here's this guy and he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and here's this guy who's, there's no story. Just 2 guys dropping each other on their heads, suplexing each other for 10 minutes, and the match ends with a roll. That may work for them, but here it doesn't work. Here what works is grassroots. Flyers. I'll give you away all my secrets. Flyers, radio. We used to do TV, we don't anymore. It got too expensive. Comcast is out of their minds.
Even for public access?
We don't have public access.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate. So, every month we do radio. Every month we do flyers. We used to do billboards quarterly. We don't anymore. I feel that our product's been good enough to bring people back. We're going to have 200 people show up every show. And then whether it's, 300 or 600, depends on the intangibles. It depends what time of the year it is. It depends what else is going on in town that night. In May, we couldn't draw a picture. It's terrible. You can't pick a good Saturday in May to run the show because there's weddings, anniversaries, vacations, school, whatever, prom. It's ridiculous. We've actually discussed taking a break in May just because it's like we do in January. The January break is for weather.
Yeah.
The May break would be.
Although you do run in December.
We do. That's
one of the few.
Yes. Yeah, we do run in December, but I feel in January it's like everybody's recovering from Christmas in regards to financially. Even our February show last year, remember the big blizzard we had? We missed that by like 5 days, I think, and we were still taking home. You know what I mean? So.
Night and day difference between this year and last year.
Oh, it's been crazy. Like this year we could have got away with it, but that's a chance to take. But you're also asking a family of 5, to drop $12 a ticket right after Christmas when everybody's still kind of recovering. And in my opinion,
they didn't gain Christmas money.
Assuming. Yeah, but no, it's nothing we do revolutionary down here. We have a little street team that goes out and flyers. The radio works really well for us, but I think it's the strength of the product, and the casual fans come here and they say, that was a damn good show. And they tell people, word of mouth is the best advertising any band, company or wrestling show or whatever can get. It's simple. Put on a good product and people want to see it.
That'll do it for this edition of Nosebleed Seats. We are all out of time. Next week, we'll have part 2 of our interview with the promoter of Dreamwave Wrestling, Jay Repsel, one of the 10 most influential people in Central Illinois wrestling.
What number was that again?
From all of us at the Nosebleed Seats, we wish you and yours a very merry and safe Christmas holiday season.